What's up, people? How are you doing this beautiful morning? I'm Romeo from Marketing and Crypto, and this is the Crypto Rundowns. So today we have three topics that we want to discuss. First of all, we are going to talk about Curve and what the hell is going to happen with the whole DeFi section. Number two, we are going to talk about Worldcoin, like all the privacy concerns and everything. We are going to cover that. And number three, we are going to talk about the best layer 2. The Coinbase's Ethereum layer 2 protocol that's been causing so much shit in this last couple of days. So let's dig into it. Let's talk about Curve. What's happening there? Well, as you already know, there was a hack a couple of days ago. Some hacker found a re-entrancy vulnerability in the Viper protocol. So it's basically, Viper is a programming language that used just like Solidity, and there were like three versions of the programming language where there was this re-entrancy vulnerability, and possibly the hacker, whoever hacked it, the developers were saying that they must have spent weeks or months just studying the whole programming language and finding out the loophole. So anyways, cheers to them. But the problem is they took around 70 million worth of Curve tokens from the Curve pools, as well as a few other protocols that were using Vipers, even in the BNB chain, and I think probably from Solana as well. Now this is one of the big hacks that's going to have a long-term effects in the crypto ecosystem, but this hack is much more than that. What happens is, once the hacker starts dumping the CRV tokens that he has stolen, what happens is that the price of the CRV tokens goes down. Now it has already gone down by quite a significant margin. I think within a few hours of the when the hack became public, the CRV token lost around 20% of its values. Since then it has recovered slightly, but there is a much bigger problem in play here. There is this guy called Michael Egorov. Now Michael Egorov was kind of the co-founder of Curve, and he, a few months ago, he thought, okay, I have done enough, so let me take out whatever Curve tokens I have, and let's live a little. You know how it gets with crypto people. So he took out around 290 million of his Curve tokens, and what he did was he basically went to Aave. He locked his 290 million worth of Curve token, and he took out $100 million in stable coins. The problem is, if Curve goes below $0.37, that's 37 cents, his entire loan gets liquidated. Now what happens is that once the loan gets liquidated, Aave dumps the entire thing on the market, and once Curve goes really low and Aave starts like liquidating the whole thing, first of all, Aave and all the other, I think there were a couple of other liquidity protocols like Frax, and I think there's another one called Abracadabra, I'm not sure. All of them loses a lot of money. So that's number one. And number two is they start dumping the tokens on the market, and once this huge amount of token gets dumped on the market, it's very unlikely that Curve will recover. So yeah, that's a huge fucking problem right there. There has been a collective effort to save the entire thing. Like people have been buying over the counter Curve tokens at a discount from Michael Egorov just to save a really bad day for DeFi. But at the same time, market is really brutal. We all know that already. So what people are doing is basically shorting the shit out of the Curve token. Keep it in mind that the liquidation point is at $0.37. So it's not really that far. I think Curve is at 58 cents right now. So yeah, it's like a 40% crash. We hope that DeFi, basically the entire DeFi front, unites and saves the day for Curve. But yeah, not very good news for Curve here. Okay, now let's move on to Worldcoin. As you all know, the Worldcoin protocol that is co-founded by Sam Altman and there's some other guy. It launched last week, and since then it's made some pretty huge gains. Not in terms of the token. The token has already the token started out at $3, and right now it is staying around to $2.10, $2.30 around. But what's picking up the pace is it's the other thing, the orb thing. So basically, if you don't know what it is what's the utility of the Worldcoin, Worldcoin has this technology called the orb. It basically scans your iris and then stores the data of your iris, or basically your proof of personhood in the blockchain. It's based on the optimism layer 2, and basically creates a world ID for you. And every I think every 3 months or whatever, every month or every week, you get a certain amount of Worldcoin just for free because you have registered. Now the problem is, first of all, it seems like it's an extreme invasion of privacy, because I mean, you are literally saving people's iris. I understand that with the biometric scan and everything else, privacy has been the value of privacy has deflated by a lot, or inflated by a lot. But I think people still want to hold dear to the fact that they don't want to give away their iris details and stuff like that. But Kenya has officially banned its Worldcoin's operation in Kenya, citing privacy concerns. Now, what are my thoughts on that? I mean, okay, it's fair that people who don't want to necessarily share their intimate private details, specifically details that can be easily used or exploited against them. So yeah, no harm, no foul on that. I understand where everyone is coming from, but at the same time, I believe that projects like Worldcoin will always have a cult-like following, where people will always like, these are the early adopters, you know, like they will always go for it. I am still reserving my thoughts on, is it a good thing, is it a bad thing? Like I recently saw that Vitalik Buterin written a whole 6-7 page document on this whole concept of proof of personhood, and if it's a good one or a bad one. I was going through it, and it seemed like Vitalik didn't really appreciate the concept, but yeah, I'm still holding my thoughts on this one, and I just want to see the whole thing playing out. However, if someone is having a good day out of it, is the optimism protocol. Like, they have been seeing crazy amounts of uptick in their services in recent time. Like recently today they crossed Arbitrum in their, I think, daily usage. So yeah, good for optimism, and let's see what comes out of it. But one thing I will say is that I was going through the Worldcoin's white paper, and they have like a one-page white paper. It's not really white paper, it's a one-pager. So anyways, in the white paper they were saying that they want to create this crypto-based UBI system, this universal basic income system. And one thing I can say about that is it's absolute pure dog shit. I don't believe in the concept of a universal basic income system or anything, and I don't believe that any crypto protocols should be meddling in these issues. Like, if a crypto protocol certainly says that yeah, we are going to solve world hunger or poverty by giving people free crypto, I think it has nothing to do with crypto and everything to do with your god complex. You know, like when billionaires start thinking of themselves about like something like a savior. That's where all of this comes from. And I will say one thing, that Sam Altman, if you're listening, steer clear of that shit. Create your OpenAI, operate your ChatGPT, do whatever the fuck you want to do with Worldcoin, but no UBI, please. Now let's move on to base layer 2. Okay, so what a crazy weekend we had last week. If you don't know, Coinbase launched its layer 2 protocol called Base. It hasn't yet gone fully public, but that doesn't really stop any degens from degening. So what you can do with this base layer 2 so far is that it is just open to developers right now. You can take your funds from ETH mainnet, but funds means specifically Ethereum. Like, you can send your Ethereum to this contract, where then through chain list or whatever you want to use to bridge your assets, but it's still a one-way bridge. Like, if you take your ETH and you migrate to base layer 2, you cannot take it out. But you know, as I said, that doesn't stop degens from degening. All of these developers have created like hundreds and hundreds of shitcoins, and these things are going crazy, man. Like, people know that they cannot take their funds out of it, but they still want to buy shitcoins. You know, like they want to become millionaires just with $100, and that's exactly what happened with the Bald token. So someone created this Bald shitcoin. It's basically, I think it has got something to do with Coinbase founder Brian Armstrong and his bald head. So anyways, what happened is, I think Bald token shot about 400,000%. Someone invested $500 and got $1.5 million out of it. But yeah, you know, as it happens with shitcoins, it got rugged. Whoever deployed the Bald token, he rug pulled it, and the entire thing went to zero. And basically, whoever was in it lost all of their shit. Now, two things. First of all, it has been found out that whoever deployed the Bald token was awfully close to FTX, SBF, and Alameda protocol and all these things. Like, they have found the wallet interact with Alameda research on-chain votings, FTX's on-chain votings and stuff like that. So a lot of people are sharing rumors that it is SBF himself, but I'm not really sure about that. I don't think it's SBF. Maybe it is definitely someone who is close to FTX and the whole gang, but it's not SBF. Come on, guys, he just got out of jail. But yeah, that's really fishy. A dude who was once very close to this scammy organization, and he is now coming back and scamming yet again. That's something very unacceptable. So that's number one. Number two is, right now, as I said already, the ETH to base bridge, it's a one-way bridge. Now, if base wants, base can freeze all of the rug pullers fund and basically give it back to the people who lost their money. But I am curious to see what happens. I think Base will open up for everyone at around, I think, August 9. Before that, I am at least willing to see what they do with these news. Like not only just Bald, they had already, as I said, hundreds and hundreds of shit coins, and a few of them definitely rugged. There was a one called, I think, Pepe 2.0, another one called a Based Elon. All of these other coins, and a few of them definitely rugged. Now the question to Base is that, do they freeze the fund and quash the legitimacy of a decentralized ecosystem like Base, or do they just let the hacker leave with the funds? Now the thing is that a lot of people are making this argument that Base shouldn't necessarily freeze the funds because crypto is decentralized. And while I agree that yes, crypto is decentralized, if you remember, go back to 2017 when the Ethereum DAO hack happened, and essentially a lot of Ethereum got stolen. Vitalik Buterin and a bunch of ETH holders voted on basically forking the Ethereum chain, and from there we got Ethereum Classic and Ethereum Mainnet that we have today. So we have precedent of blockchains doing that. Now we want to see if something similar to that happens here. All of this is we need to wait to see how the whole thing develops. As also another thing, the only DEX that you could use to interact with the Base layer 2 tokens was a lead swap, but after soon after the Ball token got rugged, the lead swap developers also found out that they have been compromised as well. A few of their pools have been compromised with, I think, 350 ETH they had, and I think a hacker got control over all of it, but later they managed to recover, I think, 197 ETH. But yeah, that situation is also very much unfolding. It's obviously very unfortunate that every time we see these types of new launches, and hackers will find out a way to rug people or exploit people, and I don't really like that. So yeah, let's work together more beautiful at least if not beautiful, a more reasonable crypto ecosystem with it. Okay, so that's enough for this video. If you liked it, follow me, subscribe, depending on whatever platform you're watching it on. And yeah, let's meet you again on the next video. So since then, ciao.